Hello and welcome everyone. This is going to be a guide build for the new plate lock demon form that's going around. This is my own little twist on it. If you guys are curious why people are playing demon form even at low lobbies now, we should go check out the patch notes. What they've basically done is it's not a lot of changes, but it's enough. Basically, you can use weapons now as a demon in Dark and Darker. So before, instead of having really bad reach and using your fists, you can now equip, a bardish, a halberd, falchion, and a shield, and you can melee and block and riposte with the longsword as a demon with all the extra demon stats, the PDR, the MDR, all that stuff. Also, it's going to drain more life when you are now as a demon, so we're going to rip through our health a bit quicker, but there are ways to mitigate that a bit. Now let's get into the build. I have been messing around with a few ideas. We did a non-casting variant for a bit where you use Blow of Corruption, demon form, and you proc the Blow of Corruption, go into demon form. The Blow of Corruption stays on your melee weapon while in demon form, and then you just kind of full commit to demon form. While I like that build and it makes sense, there are a lot of times when I want to be able to drain health off of mobs or Hellfire through a room. Meleeing is often slower than Hellfiring, so I have kind of adapted the build to what I deem to fit my playstyle and be a little more versatile. So I'm going with Torture Mastery for health back. We're going to use Shadow Touch so we get magic damage on our melee and health back from melee. Demon Armor, obviously the core, so we're going to be casting a little bit slower, but we're okay with that. And then Soul Collector. Soul Collector is what's going to proc with your demon form. Remember this, the more darkness shards you have, when you go into demon form, you get +1 all attributes up to 10. So ideally before an engagement with a tough fight, when you proc your demon form, you want to have 10 Soul Collector shards to proc. The spells we're going to be using are very similar to what I would use on a regular casting Warlock. I could see arguments for going Bloodstained Blade, Spell Predation to get Darkness Shards if you knew the other team was buffed, but as a solo, I don't really have time for this. I haven't messed with Eldritch Shield, which may be good in the build, and I could see Flamewalker having a lot of potential instead of Hellfire. So potential swap would be Hellfire for Flamewalker, and maybe if you don't want the utility of Hydra, you could go for Eldritch Shield or something like that. I could even see Life Drain after they buffed it doing something for us, but ideally we don't want to be standing still as a demon, right? So that's the general idea of the build. What you're going to do is you're going to hopefully soften them up with some curses prior to the engagement, but ideally you're going in with 10 procs, demon forming, and meleeing the crap out of them. Now, I tried this yesterday and I did it as a flat 0 base kit, and then I did it with a little bit of gear, around 200 gear score, just blues and greens, nothing too crazy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some clips of it in action. I'm not going to do anything too wild. I'll show you doing a little bit of PV, and then I'll show you the fight for each round. We got a couple fights to showcase it. And then let me show you what we set up with the Squire here, because I feel like this is important. We did plate on the gloves, the Dark Cuirass on the chest, and then I went with an Occultist hood, but honestly, one mag heal isn't that great on the base kit. I went Occultist boots because I would like a little bit more cast speed since we're getting penalized on that, and a little bit more of the knowledge just to have more of my loadout available. I went with a longsword, but you can do Chris and Crystal Ball. You can do falchion and a heater, falchion and a lantern. Really just depends on your playstyle and what you want to do with it. And then obviously the regular stuff, book, potions, a drum for good measure, and a campfire. So without further ado, let's get into the games.
but I would like to hear